to show you a quick intro. So, our company is X2 Games, and you know, I'm going to let Alexa introduce Nolan. Alexa, can you introduce Nolan?
I'm sorry, Nolan Bushnell needs no introduction.
All right. Just do it, Alexa.
Please welcome to the stage, the godfather of video games, the founder of Atari and Chuck E. Cheese, and CEO of X2 Games, Nolan Bushnell.
You know, I've always liked to do things a little weird. Believe it or not, a lot of people thought video games were weird. There were even states that outlawed them. And then, imagine if you would, going to a venture capitalist and saying, I want to build a pizza parlor that's 10 times bigger than any pizza parlor you've ever seen. And it's going to have a great big arcade. And it's going to have climbing things for kids. But wait, there's more. Talking robotic animals. Do you think anybody would do it? It just seems like trying to do new things is always really hard. So when I started playing with Alexa, I couldn't help but think that there's more here. Why? Games require randomizers. Echo can do that. Timers, easy. Hold a secret, easy peasy. Sound effects and music, that's really good. And then you can turn on lights, and you can turn on various things, and you can hack them so that they can turn on your shoes. Alexa, turn on my shoes. Alexa, turn off my shoes. Okay. I gotta tell you, I'm hacking this. I was gonna hack this controller and hook it up to the Alexa switch, and I didn't get it done in time, so I apologize. But you can imagine.
Nolan, you're no stranger to technology, and you basically were involved in the first navigation, right?
And robots.
And robotics. So AI kind of was
Easy.
evolution.
Okay, now it's time. Alexa, introduce Zay Ortiz.
Please allow me to introduce Zay Ortiz, co-founder and president of X2 Games.
So, my journey into the film industry. So, I've worked on a lot of feature films, from Iron Man, Mission Impossible, Sherlock Holmes, Tron. Over 20 years in the film industry, creating things from Infinite Air into basically your living room to the silver screen. Hitting over 1 billion people. And for me, that was one accomplishment that was great for envisioning a future that what can we do with these graphics, how can we envision and inspire people. So from there, I was always dabbling, like, how can I make this real? How can I make something like this real? And I met Nolan, and the convergence of gaming and cinema just sounded like a great fit. We kept on talking, and story was the key to bridge it all. And so he gave me a challenge. How about not using visuals, but giving a story to Amazon Alexa? It was a great challenge. And you know, a lot of that now, we're going to dive deep into it and explore how we kind of accomplished our first game that will be coming out in Q1, and how we're basically using voice activation, Alexa, in the future. So let's talk about making it real. So I had the great privilege of developing the visual for Jarvis and Iron Man, and I think it's time to make that real. I bet you there's a lot of people in here that have dabbled in AI and smart speakers and visuals and know someone. And I think we're crossing that bridge right now where technology is allowing us to explore that. So, what is Alexa and entertainment to us? Do you want to tap into that, Nolan?
Well, I think that we really want to bring games collaboratively. Remember, board game is a party. I have 5 sons and 3 daughters, and we play games together. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if we had board games? Because they're collaborative, they're a party. And the whole idea of creating a new genre is always exciting to me. And so the new genre of games, voice, structure was there. So take it away.
So for Alexa and entertainment, we decided to figure out how can we bridge gaming with cinema, and how we ended up doing that was, Nolan mentioned about him playing on board games. I know that he's a family guy, and he plays board games every Sunday with his whole family. And it really inspired us to take the leap and make this first game with Amazon Alexa to do that. And something else that you might not know is that Nolan's a fan of making a smart home. He's into DIY and building crazy stuff. Do you want to give me an example of what you built at your house?
I can walk into my house and say, turn on Christmas. And it would turn on the Christmas tree. It would turn on a monitor that I had in my fireplace. You want a crackling fireplace, but you really don't want any more heat in Los Angeles. And so, with one simple command, I could turn on all of Christmas, play Christmas carols, and have a great time. I might say that my wife doesn't appreciate some of that because Alexa doesn't like her. She thinks that Alexa and I may have something going on.
So, the device itself that we're using, there's 20% of the people are using Amazon Alexa for gaming. I think it might be even less than that. I think the majority of people are using Alexa for household stuff, to listen to their music, turn on the lights, what's the weather, my schedule, for health, for probably many more stuff. But gaming is low on the bar there. And what we think is that aspect of story and entertainment and cinema could actually elevate this exploration with Amazon Alexa.
Let's say, why don't you talk about the experience with your daughter? I think that's very instructive because this is really going young.
My daughter's 4 years old, and we have 3 Alexas at the house. And we found out when she was 3, she was trying to speak with her speech, trying to say Alexa, she couldn't. By 3 and a half, she was talking to Alexa, her vocabulary was getting better, and my wife started seeing a shift in her, that her eagerness to actually explore Alexa through seeing us wanting to play music. For me, I was just playing music and a couple of other things, my wife as well. She's calling out skills that I've never heard of. It's because she's just calling out words as she learns them. And the combination will give her a result. And by the result, she's exploring new things that she never, ever would have ever encountered in history. So it's actually, my daughter's 4 years old, and she basically took charge of Alexa, and no one could ever talk above her right now. So she's head of the household. So it's been a great experience. So I really see the positive aspect of Amazon Alexa.
So, without further ado, let's see some of our stuff.
Okay, so just a quick recap. We are X2 Games, and we basically want to explore innovation mixed with traditional gaming, but we want to give you a little taste of what we're actually doing right at this moment.
I heard what happened to Miss Paper. I just can't believe she's really dead. Everyone loved her.
Lady wasn't exactly personable, if you know what I mean. But
I knew the broad. Listen to I was at the like Saint Only, halfway across town. Just a tragedy.
talk to little Miss Holly.
Jimmy and me, at least a dozen drunks have eyes on me. Oh, she was very
Motive.
I didn't imagine you would want her in such a long time. She was the old
Alibi. P.S.
A marvelous play after that. He has a gun. You know that's a I have no idea who you're dealing with.
There was a murder in the town of St. Noir.
Alexa, what is Saint Noir?
Saint Noir is a voice-activated murder mystery game that challenges you to solve a murder by interrogating a fully voiced cast of characters, using me.
Thank you. So this is our first game, and to explain how in-depth it is, we basically had to, it's almost making 3 movies, feature films, to make this game. We used a film writer that wrote, I think, 9,000 pages, something in that area. There's branching narrative, so every 12 suspects there is a different dialogue, so multiples of it, and it's the game you can play it infinitely. So we basically went to a studio. We had 12 cast members, and we reenacted the whole thing. Reenacted it in a soundstage, recorded all the VO, sent it to a composer that actually made custom music for the game, as well as custom sound effects. Our engineers, day in and day out, figured out solutions how to branch this narrative into Alexa to drive a new era of storytelling and gamify it. And then we had a designer that actually came on board to design the whole game and the characters and the feel, and I mean there was so much involved, and right now it's all done and pretty much ready to go, and can't wait for you guys to experience it. Here are some of our casts and some of the people that were involved. What we want to do is actually let you hear a little bit of the sound clip, that actually the voice that comes out of the smart speaker. I'll play a clip right now.
Saint Noir. I passed through town somewhere in the Rockies. Kind of place people still wave at you if they see you got an out-of-state license plate. Never would have pegged one of these rubes as a killer. But I suppose that's the point. The Greasy Spoon. Throwback American diner. Calories alone in this place will kill you. Let's see if something else in here will too. Aluminum bat, hidden under a cabinet. I suppose softball season is right around the corner.
I saw Professor Foyle over there.
Anything seem out of the ordinary?
Most things in this town are out of the ordinary, Detective.
Uni's found a second body dumped in the town square. Killer's playing with me, getting bolder.
And to think I took you for a brute, Detective. Here you are, 2 steps ahead. Well done. I suppose if you spend too long living with a sheep, you eventually bleed. Oh well, we'll have another go at this someday, I'm sure. And next time, I won't make the mistake of underestimating you.
So that's a sample, and we'll show you now with the visual.
last time I saw her alive. I loved her. I swear, if I knew anything, I would tell
She's
you.
lying. She said she met Karen at the steakhouse.
A strange place for a vegan to go for dinner.
Why don't you ask her about the haircut?
No. You ask her about the killer. No, never made sense to me. Is she right left-handed like she said?
How come you're drinking out of your right?
Good work, detective. The barista did it.
It's ain't Nora. Everyone's a detective.
So this takes us to gamification.
What our mission is to move past just video games into smart speaker games, streaming, immersive theater. What we have now is there's a mediated board game. We've got designs for mobile, geo-adventure, and dynamic cinema. And we believe that the whole world of new, dynamic merging between media and games is just happening. And you can look at games like Pong as being clear to the left. It's on a dial, it's a continuum. And movies clear to the right. There's a whole page in between of part game, part narrative, part movie, part game. And we think that there's a very vacant area that we can fill with some of the weirdest stuff you've ever seen. And that's what our goal is.
How about the idea of branching narrative with TV shows?
Absolutely. But more than that, did you ever stop to think of Echo, Alexa, breaking the fourth wall and becoming a participant in a TV show, and have Alexa become a character in that show, responding and talking to the people in the show, in the movie? We think that all these things are going to be so cool because we've got some things written on that.
Yeah, and we believe that we can bring now, for the sake of voice and now images together and tie that together to bring a new type of to your household, to bring basically cinema, but you control it, because what I've worked on in the past is movies that were linear. A director told you a story. What about if you could choose the story, and you control the story, and you control how it ends and how it becomes? That's what we want. In games now, that's what games are. You choose, you're able to choose the world. And we want to basically create that in this example that we're going to show you.
Imagine being part of a story where anything could happen. Imagine watching a TV show where you're the storyteller, where you, the viewer, have the power to change the plot unfolding in front of you while it's happening. An interactive cinematic experience where you get to make decisions for the main characters. Decisions that will cause the story to branch off in completely different directions. Where your experience is unique to the choices you make. Choices that will ripple throughout the story and have consequences in ways you cannot always foresee. Imagine a premium TV show you'd want to binge and then rewatch immediately, because it won't be the same the second time around. Because this time, if you choose wisely, your choices might get you the ending you want. How can we use Alexa to do interactive storytelling? One of the biggest challenges of interactive cinema is how the interaction happens. So far, most interactive narrative content has been conceived through the imagination of gaming, through mouse clicks and controller buttons. But adding a physical device or interface to the choice process is cumbersome and awkward, as you don't watch your favorite TV shows or movies with a controller in your hand. That's where Alexa comes in. Imagine if you could control the direction of the story you're watching through simple voice commands. A prompt shows up, seamlessly integrated into the visuals, detailing 2 possible choices, and you simply say, "Alexa, don't trust him," or "Alexa, explore the 2nd floor." Conundrum. Now imagine a murder mystery, a twisty whodunit set in a contained location where your choices not only impact the story's direction, but will reveal new clues and crucial information to you that will directly affect your ability to solve the mystery at the end and unmask the killer. Conundrum is a new kind of story that exists somewhere in between a game and a high-end TV show. It's a show that will play out like a conventional cinematic series, except at key junctions you get to make a choice that might change everything. The consequences of those choices will sometimes be subtle and sometimes huge. It might in some cases simply reveal a piece of information to your character that they wouldn't otherwise have gleaned. Or it might reveal a physical clue as to who the killer is. But in more extreme cases, it can lead to another character dying or not. And so going forward, that character will no longer be on the show, in your version of the story at least. Your friends may have made a different choice and the character is still alive, and maybe that character becomes instrumental later on. In the last episode of the season, the story will conclude and you will be asked to make one final choice. Decide, based on the remaining characters in the story, who the killer is. If you've made sound, logical choices throughout the season, you might have amassed enough clues and information to make a solid accusation. But if you haven't, this final choice may be a shot in the dark, and the story probably won't have a happy ending.
Our roadmap for this year, 6 games, 6 board games. When I say board games, a couple of them will just use card decks. We're going to do 2 entertainment ones for kids. We're going to have an educational one for kids. And we're going to have a party game for a lot of adult drunks. And a couple of just good fun, all-around family games, young adult games. We hopefully are going to be able to begin in earnest a conundrum game, which is as much a movie theater or movie game as anything. And that's kind of our near-term future. But we're going to constantly push back the frontier as we see it. Look for new things, weird things, and try to make the future happen. And Alexa, turn my shoe screen.
So with all that, we have a lot of things lined up for us. So please watch out for us and look out for the new games that will be coming out. But not only that, come and visit us on our website, see what we're doing. Nolan has so much to share about his vision. Super humble man, and I'm honored to be working with this gentleman beside me. We have so many things for kid development, everything that Nolan has mentioned, but I'm so eager to get this product out to show the world what we created, and the opportunity to work on such a beautiful device as Amazon Alexa. So, what does the future hold? Alexa.
Current scientific consensus estimates that in about 7.5 billion years the sun will explode, eradicating all life in the solar system.
Not that. But what does the future hold for interactive entertainment?
Oh, it's going to be everywhere.
Well, I've heard it. It'll be everywhere. We believe in that because we've seen how the evolution of games has happened. The guy beside me started it, and we knew how cinema started just on a locked camera, and they didn't even move that camera. And look where it's gone now. We have VR, AR, beyond, and I look forward to emerging all these technologies into voice activation. So thank you.